think about real-time AI and what could listen to you and make visuals as you were talking. It turned out a couple years ago, not that many things, but we've been really fortunate to be in this community and others of folks who are pushing the limits of open source AI. Have been able to make a lot of progress in creating a voice-to-visual engine that's taken us all around the world, put it in front of thousands of people. These images here are from all of the different events that we've not only had with 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴, but that we've had in our individual experiences as artists working at the forefront of interactive art, and that's especially what Gonzo has been doing, so I'll pass the mic to him.
Like James said, we've been working at the forefront of interactive art, of immersive experiences for a while. We've been testing out a lot of different concepts, putting them in front of people, and I guess that's like the biggest takeaway. We've just been trying and trying and trying. Try with these sound beds, try with fruits, try with music, robots, try with the floor, try with the walls. It's just been a lot of trial and error for the last like 10 years. I think it's just about putting yourself out there. Even like tonight, we're having technical difficulties, but it's like one step in the journey that we've been on. And James and I actually met at this church convent for technologists. I was creating these sound beds and he was working on 𝐸𝐴𝐴, and we thought that both of them together would be a really cool combination for the things that we can do in the future and how we can tell immersive stories.
And so we're at this like really crazy moment for creativity. Who feels the fast takeoff? Are you just shaking every day? It's totally crazy. Applaud if you feel like you're in the future. Oh my God, it's crazy. We are standing at the beginning of a crazy exponential, and this is impacting so many things. We're seeing in places like this all the time. One of the things beyond, automating our work and automating, the drudgery of email and marketing and so on is like every single part of our lives is being impacted. And as we've really traveled around showing our work, and we're going to do an interactive demo and everybody will be able to play, I think first just talk about the journey that we've been on to be able to get here, is that like live in-person experiences are absolutely going to be revolutionized by this fast takeoff. And so if you think about any part of your life, whether it's your entertainment, your education, whether it's how you get to work in the morning, every single part of life is being revolutionized by this takeoff. And so if you think about when Walt Disney in 1923, if you look at our business plan for 𝐸𝐴𝐴, really it's a flywheel of being able to make really great stuff and show it to a lot of people, and then teach other people how to make great stuff. It's inspired by the flywheel that Walt Disney made about entertainment and about being able to take eyeballs and convert those eyeballs into many different business lines. And so if you think about Disney as a technologist, what he would think, it really is the era of Imagineering in its truest form. If you can dream it, you can do it. Gonzo likes to talk about imagination at the speed of thought. That's totally where we are.
Yeah, I think for me, what's really special about this as a designer, one of the first things that I had to really understand was the illusion of life, which is how Disney animated all of these characters that we've all fallen in love with. So we try to apply that illusion of life to a lot of the work that we're doing right now. And like James said, we're at this point of takeoff where we're able to harness the last 100 years of creativity and really get on this rocket ship for what's about to come.
And so we have, in support of creating spatial environments, physical environments that respond to people, we have just sold the first version of the spatial imagination system to a space in Manhattan, and we'll walk through a little bit about what that means. But we wanted to think about how you take voice and then also motion and combine them together to create a space that responds to you. And so this is kind of a systems diagram that goes from voice to transcripts to transformation by a language model, then to scope, which is powered by the Daydream team, to a run pod, which we just saw in the previous presentation. Processing then through an RTX 6000 Pro with a few different tools that we created in our stack, ultimately then to create a system that which you can speak to, and it responds to what you're doing. And so that's really the core of the spatial imagination system with Etheria. One really interesting piece is that it's powered at the edge by Jetson Nano GPUs. And so thinking about how right now world models that we see parallelizing 7 GPUs in the cloud as an example, ultimately will then be available on something that can run in your living room, and then eventually can maybe run at the edge. And so we're thinking about the compression of intelligence as something that also just speaks to the level of imagination that can exist in a space and how responsive a space can be to the people that are in it.
Yeah, so like James said, we're really trying to make all of this invisible. The whole goal is that technology should feel like superpowers. You shouldn't feel like you have to go and download this API or connect this to that. I mean, we do it on the back end, right? But really the whole magic happens when you just hand someone a mic and they speak, and then all of a sudden there's all these different things that are happening on the back end, but to them, they're just expressing themselves. They're just expressing a feeling, and we're basically trying to add a layer of abstraction that can kind of house this voice. And we've been able to build this system that not only runs on the cloud, but also runs in software and hardware. And not sure if James mentioned it, but the Jetson Nanos are computers that are like the size of a credit card. So they're tiny. And you can imagine that if we're gonna be going now to install a permanent installation in someone's house, we need to have a reliable system, not just in the cloud, but also in the space. And then what happens when they ask for more displays? They want something upstairs, they want something downstairs, they want something outside. Do we have to run wires through the whole house? No, we're actually using the Jetson Nanos to connect through the network. So now we're eliminating all of this need for wires, need for complicated communication, and we're able to think in that mind space where we're just saying, this is exactly what we need for this activation to work, and how do we build systems that basically just take care of that.